Hello everyone and welcome to the Commerce Casino in the city of Commerce, California, just south of downtown Los Angeles, where tonight the Commerce Casino hosts one of the fastest growing and popular games in the world, hosts the fastest growing sport in the world, as Bamma USA and 3D Fights MMA present Badbeat 2. I'm your host, the Ackman Ryan Ekbedi, joined by my co-host and partner I won't live without, Mr. RJ Clifford. We are ready and set to get this card underway. Tail of the tape for our first fighter, Spike Carlyle from Decimation MMA. He's 5'7", 160 pounds, has a wrestling and orthodox fighting style.
And his opponent, Andrew Detwiler, nicknamed AJ, fights at a King's MMA. He's 6 feet tall, 160 pounds, and is a wrestler. This is his amateur mixed martial arts debut.
A height difference favoring AJ, Andrew Detwiler, at 6 feet tall to the 5'7" Spike Carlyle. But Carlyle 1-0. He has one fight as an amateur. Detwiler making his debut.
Let's take it to the cage to get this thing kicked off.
Spike Carlyle in the red. Andrew AJ Detwiler in the blue from King's MMA, which means he trains under Rafael Cordero, which is not a bad guy to train under.
One of the best trainers in the world. Fantastic Muay Thai coach specifically. Great takedown to sweep by Detwiler. Now he's on top. Again, more transitional moves. Excellent transitions there. And a big suplex by Spike Carlyle. This thing's kicking off with a bang. 20 seconds in, we've already got 2 slams and a bunch of changes. Detwiler now on top. Carlyle may want to think twice before he stands up again with Detwiler on top of him.
Again, Carlyle in the red, Detwiler in the blue. And folks, if you're watching this fight, we promise we're not pressing the fast forward button. These guys are actually fighting at that pace.
And aren't we glad they are? Here we are, just 40 seconds into this fight. We've seen a lot of action already. Leg lock attempt here on the bottom by Carlyle. Detwiler pretty wise to it.
Both guys touting a wrestling background, and we've seen a lot of control and position changes on the ground, which you'll see sometimes when you have two wrestlers that are matched.
Absolutely, and you also see a lot of good action like we're seeing right now. Both guys know how to move quickly, move at a good pace.
Carlyle looking for the up kick there. Even though his foot's being held by Detwiler, he's still able to get it off, and there's another one. Carlyle very, very savvy to what's going on. As soon as he rolled over and turtle up, he covered his head before there were even any shots near him.
Yeah, he's not taking a lot of damage on bottom, but he can't get out from bottom. I don't know which one's worse, because he's not going to win this round if he keeps on staying on bottom like that and getting slammed.
Well, I think it's worse if he's catching those shots, because if he is, then there's the chance that the referee is going to step in and stop it. If he's not, he has a chance to survive the round with no damage getting taken and then get into the next one.
He's able to get on top at the end of this round. 20 seconds left. Let's see what he can do with it.
Scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds. This is an amateur under the California Amateur Mixed Martial Arts Organization, also known as CAMO. Final 5 seconds. And Carlisle's going to finish this round on top. And it looks like he got a little bit bloodied up in the mouth. There's the trip and then immediate sweep right there by Detwiler. And this is the suplex by Detwiler.
We were told that Carlyle had a wrestling background as well, and we saw some good takedowns out of him too, but apparently his wrestling offense may be good, but his wrestling defense, well, it's fun to watch, but not so effective.
See if he can tweak that up in a second. Second round. Carlyle in the red, Detwiler in the blue, and already these guys are not wasting a second of what they are given.
Big slam coming up. Here it is. Boom! Carlyle immediately going for that double leg takedown. He got it. He is now on top.
Detwiler very active off the ground, off his back. He's out the back door. He's got an arm stuck in there, though.
There's an arm bar possibly here.
And that is what he is trying to stack up Carlyle and make sure it doesn't happen. But his arm is trapped in there, but it so far doesn't seem like he's in any danger.
He's out, and not only is he out, but he is on top. Detwiler now landing ground and pound on top.
Throws the legs to the side. Does Detwiler follows it down with a right hand. Another right hand he tries throwing from range. And that's a problem sometimes when you have guys that are lanky. Not too bad in this case. Maybe actually the lankier one's Carlyle. But sometimes even from guard or from those distance when you're up standing, you still get shot. You still get hit.
Yep, so and a triangle attempt here by Carlyle.
Carlyle's got the triangle in.
I wonder how tight this is. Can he
he's going
slam
to get
out of
slammed
it?
to find out. No, he lets go. Wow.
Oh, and he saved himself. I don't know what his leg is made out of, but it just sprung itself on the canvas, saving him from possibly getting knocked out.
40 seconds left.
Lifted him up over his head.
Yeah, there's a certain point when somebody gets slammed, like we've talked about in other cards, where sometimes you can tighten up the submission when you get slammed. But he got lifted so high that he was afraid that he was going over the top.
Yeah, Detwiler has been slinging Carlyle around with slams all fight long. I mean, Carlyle's been in the air longer than American Airlines flight attendant.
Yeah,
taking a flight on Air Detwiler.
Air Detwiler. Well, in the case of an emergency, you might turn himself into a flotation device. That was, he looked like he was going all the way over the top on that shot. And again, more shots from Detwiler from the top position. Let's look at some of the highlights from round number 2. Detwiler doing some good punching. He hoisted him up and so high, and Carlyle watched the distance between him and the canvas grow, and then just called it quits when he got to a certain altitude. He didn't want to get slammed from there.
Yeah, that ground got a lot closer to his face, a lot faster than he wanted it to. He was able to save himself, fortunately, from too much damage by sticking his leg out.
Spike Carlyle looks a little bit tattered. Detwiler is making this very, very hard on him.
Yeah, he's doing a great job here, and I'm loving these slams. I mean, he has obviously a good either wrestling, a fine wrestling background, and he's strong in the hips and torso area, because lifting a man that high who doesn't want to get lifted is no small task.
We're getting ready for our third and final round here. Carlyle in the red, Detwiler in the blue. 3 2-minute rounds. This is the third of them.
And another big slam by Andrew Detwiler. I mean, he faced a spinning back fist by Carlyle. He ducked right under it, double leg takedown, and a huge over-the-head slam. We're seeing a lot of great slams here out of Detwiler.
Good guard recovery there by Carlyle, because Detwiler was stepping over into the mount, and when he stepped over to that side, when he got one leg through, Carlyle recovered guard on the other side. He brought him to a half guard.
And
now rolled him.
Sweep now by Carlyle. Good move. Now he's here in the side mount. He's in a great position. He has the head trapped. Detwiler now squirming out of it. Okay, now he's back to his knees and all fours. A guillotine attempt here by Carlyle.
Spike Carlyle looks like he's sinking that thing in deep.
He's trying to. Detwiler is savvy to it.
Trying to squat down.
Wow, this might be it. That is tight. That is a tight guillotine choke.
He's in a gable grip, it looked like.
Yeah, that is under the chin. And Detwiler got out lucky.
Whoa,
a huge overhand right. Looked like Nolan Ryan throwing a fastball with that one.
Wow, Spike Carlyle threw that thing from yesterday.
Andrew Detwiler now on top.
40 seconds left in the round. Carlyle and Detwiler are earning their career investment right here.
Both these guys tuckered out. I mean, they've been throwing each other around this cage for over 2 rounds now. Last 20 seconds of this fight are going to be spent on the feet, it seems. Look at Detwiler, hands on his knees. He's tired. He knows the end is close.
Nice right hand misses though by Detwiler. Good head movement there by Carlyle. He got out of the way of a few big ones. Last 10 seconds ticks away. This could be anybody's fight, but Detwiler, I think, has done just enough.
Yeah, very fun fight there, especially Andrew Detwiler's slams. I mean, who doesn't appreciate a good slam these days?
Well, I would have to go at this point with Spike Carlyle, since he was the recipient of the slam.
The one exception to my general rule.
Yeah, that would probably be the only guy. But you know what? Look at him, though. That's a tough guy. That's a tough kid.
Here's Carlyle getting in on the wrestling fun as well, saying, hey, Detwiler, you're not the only one that can pick people up. I can, too. But then, of course, Detwiler says, well, if you're going to throw me down, I'm going to pick you up over my head and try to put your head through the canvas. And he nearly did. Competitive fight, absolutely. But Detwiler seemed to be cruising during the bulk of that fight. I imagine he's going to get a pretty easy decision here.
Well, why imagine? Let's go to Marco Rodriguez, who's
it.
in the ring, who has that information written down on paper that he's willing to read to us.
For your winner by unanimous decision, fighting out of the blue corner, Andrew Detwiler.
Andrew Detwiler, obviously happy with his performance, but somewhat stoic in his expression. I've seen paintings less stoic than that.
That's the wrestler for you. You know, they're taught. You know what? Act like you've been there before. You know, you got your win, your first amateur win as a fighter in mixed martial arts. I'm sure he's happy inside, but he's like, you know what? I'm gonna act like I've been here before. I'm gonna be a pro about it, even though I'm still an amateur.
Come back next. We have more Bamma Badbeat 2 from the Commerce Casino. Don't go anywhere. The odds are there's more of this good stuff coming up. Stay with us.